Try this again. Good morning, YouTubers. It's not quite 11 o'clock yet here in Pittsburgh. This is D. Cruz, your Life Applications Officer, responding to comments that I received yesterday, this week. I waited for over a week to check my email, and I finally decided to check my emails yesterday. And it was like, oh my God. There was so much comments from the atheist videos that I just did. And I mean, people were just getting nasty with it, with their comments. And they're always nasty with their comments, which is why I understand now why my pastor and a lot of my Christian friends don't worry about atheism. The word atheist doesn't even come out of their mouth. Really, let me take these off. They're loud. Let me take them off. The word atheism doesn't even come out of their mouth. They don't worry about atheists. You know, I say atheist, they just look at me like, did you just say something? Like, what is that? You know, what are you speaking Chinese? Like, they don't really care about atheists. But I understand that since I've been a YouTuber, as I said before, since 2013, and I've discovered what's going on online, and now it's creeping into the world. And I didn't think my pastor ever had an argument with an atheist, but he recently did some sermons in church right around the time I moved to Pittsburgh, where he got some emails and some people showed up some places and started some mess. Okay? And he preached on it. And, let me get down to it. I don't believe in atheism, especially militant atheism. And I believe that anybody can tell themselves something about something, okay? And that might, give them some closure or some rest about that idea or that situation. Just like, when white people tell themselves things about black people to try to figure out why there's so much black violence or why black people act like they do. That works okay till they meet a guy like D. Cruz. Same thing with these atheists. I'm not an apologist. Atheists get upset with me because I talk about them. I don't talk about what I believe. What I believe is what I believe. I don't have to flood you with it and shove it down your throat. But I talk about what you're trying to flood me with. This is why, these atheists come at me with such hate, because I talk about you. You came at me, I talk about you. Let's talk about you. And that's what they hate. But I don't believe in atheism, especially militant atheists. I believe, again, that somebody can believe for a while, say they don't believe in God. But to say you don't believe in God, to me, it's like saying you don't believe in rain, or you don't believe that coincidence happens. You know what I mean? You don't believe in coincidences. You know, just like I did the video and I talked about the lady who got saved by a falling refrigerator in a 3-decker apartment building that collapsed on her. She was the only one that didn't get out, and she still managed to survive. She survived better than some of the people that got out. But if you don't believe in God, how do you explain that? You explain, oh, things happen. Things just happen. You know, things just happen. Solomon calls it chance, which when you finish reading further down, you find out that chance, he means the chance with God. Okay? Which explains why you need 100 books to debunk one. So all I hear constantly on YouTube and, you know, what I see going into colleges and things like that is these people coming in there trying to encourage you after you've graduated college and high school. Well, we'll throw high school in there too. High school and college. Now they got to come teach you more science to make sure that you don't believe in God. And so you got all these books by all these scholars to debunk one. That's the first reason why I don't believe in atheism. The second reason is the hostility. Why are atheists so angry and hostile? Why would Richard Dawkins say to ridicule us? You know, why would he preach a sermon like that? Tell you to ridicule Christians. Okay? I'm living proof that atheism has failed in their endeavor to make something a problem when Christianity itself is not the problem. It's how you deal with problems that is the problem. If someone does something crazy, if it's a crime, they need to be arrested and judged by the court of law. If they've done wrong in the church in other ways that are not a crime, that are just as wrong though, then they should be told to step down from the ministry. People always choose, and it's not just atheists, but people always choose to leave the church instead of fix it. I can name probably 2 churches in my whole life where the people fought and fought and fought until the minister stepped down from the church. And him and his family left and went somewhere else. It was a sad departure. But the minister was sleeping with another woman in church. Okay? And his wife was justifying it, acting like it wasn't going on when everybody could see it was going on. And he was doing things with people's money and different things. And instead of them leaving the church, like a lot of people do, they said, we're not leaving. He's leaving. See, that's the difference. That's the difference right there. And when he left, they finally had the church that they wanted to, and they had to get a minister in there that would do the right thing. Okay. But so many people would rather leave the church and get angry and hate on the church instead of build it up and put it back where it needs to be. And that's another reason why I don't believe in atheism. And, you know, the only difference between atheists and my man up the street is my man up the street don't want to talk about Christianity or talk about faith until he meets somebody that is a Christian. But atheists will go out there, you know, in troops. That's why they call them militant atheists. Will go out there in troops to attack. Well, ain't nobody even thinking about Christianity. You got people on the street bringing it up. Ain't nobody even talking about Christianity. They're going to go out there and bring it up. What do you think about these Christians? Let me ask you something about faith. I have one answer for all of y'all because I know what you're doing now. Thank you, VA YouTube. Thank you. Now I know what you're all about. I got one answer for you. Hey, excuse me, sir. Can I talk to you about faith? Faith. I'm already a Christian. Okay. You want to talk to me about faith? What can I do for you, sir? Well, you know. Oh, stop. Wait. I don't believe in atheism. That's my answer for everything. I don't believe in atheism. That's my answer. You say, well, atheism is not a belief. It is if you don't believe in it. I just deleted 2 videos because of the noise outside and coming in here. I had to delete them. Plus, I said some things I didn't want to say because I couldn't concentrate. But atheists, you signed up for this. You got to face your own music. You can't dance with your own music. You cooked a dish. And you don't like the taste. And it's my fault. Why are you cooking a sweet potato pie recipe when we already got enough sweet potato pie out there? You think you're going to come in at number 20 and taste better than all of them? You signed up for this. You're going to face the consequences. You got to learn how to dance to your own music, and you suck at it, by the way. You're going to suffer for this because the food isn't done. It's not done. You cooked up a dish and jumped into this and put it out on plate, and you're feeding everybody this garbage that ain't even done cooking yet. Atheism doesn't give honest answers. Atheism is only appealing till they get busted. Or should I say, it's only effective. Only effective till they get busted. And where I'm standing, you're busted. Because there's nothing you can say to me, okay, that would make me, okay, because see, if Christianity is doing something wrong, then I'll just stay away from that version of it. Doesn't make me an atheist. Show me the bad guys and I'll stay away from the bad guys. But I'm living proof. See, you know what I'm saying? I'm living proof. It's just like I'm living proof that black folks are not all the same. And I can show you, just like I can show you 100 black people that are not going to be on the Colin Flaherty channel that white people don't talk about. Okay? I can show you 100 Christians. I can show you thousands of Christians that don't line up with atheist dogma. And I've said this over and over again. Atheism and racism is synonymous. And it is. Not the same, but very similar. Because just like people will take and try to blame what's going on around them on black folks. Everything's black folks' fault. Or vice versa. Everything's white folks' fault. Okay? So what do they have to do? Just like atheists. What do they have to do when they meet a guy like me? They got to say dumb stuff like, how come your pants ain't sagging off your butt? How did you end up working here? You the only black guy here. Then they got to say stuff. They got to misjudge me on stuff. You know how they do. There's one guy on my job that every time he sees me, my bad, man. And I have to tell him, dude, I'm not into rap music. At least not like as much as you are. And then he starts stuttering. Well, I'm not into rap music. I just thought it was cool. And I don't want to tell him. I know. Every time you see me, you think of a rapper. Even though I don't dress like that, I don't act like that. But you make yourself look like what you disagree with when you try to claim that everybody is the same. Okay? So you got these white folks out here that are blaming black folks for all the problems of the world, but then when they meet a black guy like me, they meet a black guy who is living his life and not the dogma that comes out of the black community. Now you're really confused. And it's the same way if you jumped into this atheism thing. You meet a Christian that, because the only way we can have an argument is if I decide to talk about something that I disagree with, that you agree with. It's the only way we can have an argument. Let me say it again. The only way that you can come at me or attack me for being a Christian is if I open up my mouth about something that I disagree with, that you disagree with. Just like if I open up my mouth about homosexuals. Boom. This is what I hate about Christians. And then you can't just sit there and keep it on the subject. The subject was homosexuality. Now I'm a murderer. I'm a rapist. I'm doing all these different things. Where'd you get that? Atheism and racism are synonymous. It's a fact. When you blame other people for the problems of the world and act like you ain't causing problems to the world yourself, is that not racist? Just so atheist. Okay, the next one. Atheists don't give honest answers. Atheism is only appealing till they get busted. I've said that already. And it is. Atheists hate what I say because I talk about their behavior, instead of trying to apologize for every little finger pointing that they do. Because, again, I'm a prime example that you're busted. Because you're pointing yourself, because I called myself a Christian, just like on the Colin Flaherty channel, the guy talking about Colin Flaherty is black. If I had been white, it'd been different. I could say the same thing I said. Okay? I could have said the same thing I said as a white man and it wouldn't have been so bad. But because I said it as a black man, F him. Okay, F that guy. Okay? It's the same way here. Because I said something as a Christian. And you think you know everything about Christians. I'm a prime example that you don't know everything about Christians. Because there's not one single thing that atheists ever said that can tag me. I'm not part of the organization. I don't even know what you're talking about. And that's where I get pissed. I don't get pissed because somebody don't believe in God. I get pissed when you say things that aren't true. And you say them in a way to where you don't care to let anybody prove you wrong. You're not willing to accept, which lets me know that you don't even really believe deep down inside of yourself what you're saying. You're saying it because you believe that you have to be at this war. Same way with racism. You have to be at this war. And it doesn't take all that. You know, black folks go to prison just like white folks go to prison. Religious people go to prison just like non-religious people go to prison. What's so hard about it? What's so hard about it? Atheists hate what I say because I talk about their behavior instead of one belief versus another. I don't care about what you believe. That is your right to believe whatever you want to believe. Atheists never hear me say that. It is your right to believe whatever you want to believe. You didn't hear me say that, did you? You always skip that part. I don't care about what you believe. I care about your behavior. You want to talk about my behavior? Bring it. Bring it. And where is this evidence that Christianity is the number one worst religion? And when I listen to you, I get the understanding that you don't know much about Christianity at all. Just like what was his name? Sam Harris did that debate with, was it Ken Ham? No, it was Lane Craig. William Lane Craig. Again, I talked about this already. He kept bringing up Islam to debunk Christianity. And if I had been William Lane Craig, I would have said, stop. I would have said, you know what, stop. Excuse me, I'm sorry, everybody. Stop. You say one more thing about Islam in this debate, because I'm not a Muslim. You say one more thing about Islam, I'm going to pack my stuff up and I'm going to walk out of here. Okay? Like B.B. King told John Mayer, when John Mayer kept on giving him all these compliments, calling him all these different things instead of sticking to the song. B.B. King just stopped in the middle of the car and said, listen, boy, you keep on going with this. I'm going to grab my guitar, I'm going to grab my Lucille and put her in the case. I'm going to walk out of here. Stick to the song. Okay? Stick to the song we singing. Alright? And it's the same way here. William Lane Craig should have told Sam Harris, Don't say nothing else about Islam because we're not talking about Islam. You know why he had to go back to Islam? He kept on going back to Islam. Let's go back to Islam, for example. You know why he had to keep going to Islam? Because he couldn't use Christianity to debunk itself. Because he knew that Christianity is God's business. Islam is Muhammad's business. Christianity wasn't invented. See? We were called Christians because we was the persecuted church of the one that rose from the dead and came back and presented everybody with the nail prints in his hand to prove that he was really dead. See? But Muhammad invented Islam. And you know how he invented Islam? It was because of his war. This is where atheism gets really dumb. It was because of his war against Christians and Jews that Islam was created. So it was a pool of blood from the day one. Muhammad, even if you read his story, you see that he copied and he what is that word? Sabotaged things from the Jews and the Christians to create his own religion. And what's dumb about it, he says Jews and Christians. Just like atheism. Which one is the family of God? Is it just Jews? And why is people always calling Jews like Jews are a religion? Jews are a race and a culture of people. And within the Jewish people, just like amongst Americans, there are religious Jews, atheist Jews, Christian Jews, Muslim Jews, all kinds of Jews. Secular Jews, just Jews. But when people say Jews, they just say Jews. They never talk about what kind of Jews they're talking about. Same way here. Same way here. But there is no proof. Matter of fact, Christianity is the number one faith. Y'all call it religion, that's fine. It's the number one religion that's biting you where it hurts the most. Because Christianity is God's business. All the other religions are the business of whatever human man, went against Christianity and started his own religion. And that's where religion comes from. I'm not an atheist. Because I understand all this stuff. I understand all this stuff. You can only get converts into atheism if you get them to accept your lies. And it only works until you get busted. And I believe I kept some people that visited this channel from being deceived by atheism. Even though atheists come on my channel. And thank you very much, because when people see the hateful comments that I get from atheists, a lot of them are going to look at that and they're going to say, maybe I don't want to get into this atheism thing. They seem like such an angry people. They seem like such a miserable people. Blaspheming God, one atheist told me yesterday. Let me tell you how easy it is for me to blaspheme your pathetic God. However you put it. Let me give you a little. Let me put my Bible away for a little bit and let me help you out with. Let me help you out with that a little bit. So you blaspheme a person, okay? He'll probably end up in jail for knocking you flat out. Come to me, or come to anybody, black, white, whatever, and say their name the wrong way. Say something to them to offend their wife or their children. Okay? Now, I know here in America, people that live here in America, like white people and black people, you come and you say the wrong thing to my wife or the wrong thing to our children, you're going to get knocked out. Or you're going to get kicked somewhere where it's going to be hurting for a long time. You're going to go down like a brick. I'm telling you. I don't care how small I am. If you were to blaspheme me to my face, blaspheme my name, blaspheme me, call me the N-word, or something to my face, somebody in the back of the bus will come up there and knock you out. Okay? So, this guy, first of all, this guy that said this, he says, watch me blaspheme your effing God. He was cuss words. I should just delete the dude. But I'm done with the season of this, so I don't care. Let him stay on there. Obviously, I think somebody else argued with him anyway. But anyway, the guy that did this, let me know that he blasphemes God and he thinks that's cute. Guess what? You're the one. You people are the ones that cry out about hell. Well, you should. See, God has a place for us. We really believe that. Just like you really believe that and everything came into existence. We really believe that God has a place for us. He has prepared a place for His Christians. And we believe that all those that don't go to that place, let me say it again, this is one of the things that atheists hate about Christians. We believe all those that don't go to that place will eventually wind up in hell. Then you will stand before God. And you won't get the chance to blaspheme God. He already heard you blaspheme Him. And it's going to be a... Okay? It's going to be a big bang. Okay? And you're going to say, I'm sorry, Lord. I'm so sorry. Oh, God, give me another chance. Oh, God, I'm sorry. These flames are so hot. Oh, God, I'm sorry. So go head on with your bad self, boy. You're not blaspheming me. You are blaspheming God. And He will have His day, because we're all, not just you, but us. I have to stand before God. You got to stand before God. All y'all got to stand before God. And when you stand before God, He not only knows you just blasphemed Him, He knows every single time in your life you blasphemed Him. And it'll be the first time that you felt, you didn't only believe in it, but you felt that big bang. So go on with your bad self. Go on and blaspheme. Because you blaspheme me in my face, I'll knock you out. But see, God, that's why He sent His Son to have mercy on your little sorry behind. Okay? But even Jesus said, I don't judge you. Jesus said, I don't judge you. You don't believe my words? It's okay. I don't judge you. But you have that one that's at the end. There's an end to everything. There's an end to everything. At the end, you will stand before him and he will judge you. Blaspheming then, what you ain't going to be able to speak. You're just going to get punished for what you've already said. And I asked plenty of questions to the atheists when we were having this. And one of the questions I asked was, what is scientific evidence for God? If God did exist, how would you know God existed? How would you know? Would a true God be a human? See? That's more the argument. The argument is, what does God do for you? Not whether he exists or not, but what does God do for you? You selfish degenerates. Let me say this, science was created by men and written in books. Just like you say the Bible was created by men and written in books. How is it facts? Facts are facts before we even do theories on them. Facts are facts regardless whether you study them or not. The facts were the facts before you ever came up with a word to call it anything. The facts were the facts. And this is where you calling science the laws of nature and calling it the law of science and all this kind of stuff is a false cult. Because it's not the law of anything. It is the theories of how things work together in the universe and in our everyday lives. See, I'm doing better than you're doing. Okay, it's not the fact of anything. Okay, water's still water, whether you call it H2O or not. It's still water. Now, if you can take the main ingredients out of water and there's still liquid there, come see me. Come see me. Facts exist without your help. Okay, they were already there when science decided to call itself science. Just like in the days of Christ, they hated Christians. Okay, why should I be surprised that atheists hate Christians? They told them, do not speak in that name again, or we will punish you, we will put you in jail. They said, we cannot deny the one that has saved us and set us free. So they put him in jail. Okay? What was their crime? Speaking the name of Jesus. That was their crime. I wouldn't even say that 20% of Christians can be tagged by atheists. All the stuff that you say against Christians, I'd say less than 20% of it exists. That's just, I mean, there's a lot of people out there that call themselves Christians. Like Mormons aren't Christians. Jehovah's Witnesses aren't Christians. Because, if they were Christians, they would have no problem just calling themselves Christians. Why did you call yourself a Mormon? Why did you call yourself a Jehovah's Witness? You dummies. It's because you're going against the church of the living God. That is why you called yourself a Mason, a Mormon, a Jehovah's Witness. Okay? Because you're going against the church of the living God. That's why. Or else you would just be content with calling yourself Christian. Jehovah's Witnesses aren't in the Bible. Neither are Mormons. They were called Christians because they were the persecuted church of who? Jesus Christ. Outside of that, There are no such thing as Christians. But this is why I don't believe in atheists. You can believe whatever you want to believe, atheists, and I will believe whatever I want to believe about you too. Whatever I say about an atheist, that's what I said, and that's the way it is. Both of us can play that game. Both of us can play that game. We all can play that game. Hold on a second. God darn it. This is what happens when you do two videos and have to delete them both. Alright. Let me get out of there. Out of this. But again, I wouldn't say that even 20% of Christians are linked to atheist dogma. You only know about 5%, and you're judging the whole Christian world on 5% of the population of Christians. My hand. Look at my hand. I ain't even hearing that. You hate us for what we say, but you skip over how we live. We live good lives. We live better lives, more moral lives. Okay? It's not the Christians that have to lose their job over a goddamn cigarette. It's not the Christians, okay, that have to justify abortion, okay, because they don't know how to keep it in their pants. Only an atheist. Matter of fact, it was an atheist that I saw take his wife after I just got done saying, well, married people don't get an abortion. It's the prostitutes and the porn stars and the lesbians and that who get pregnant and you know, they go get abortions. And then this knucklehead atheist took his wife to get an abortion. I saw the video here on YouTube. She didn't look like she really wanted to get an abortion. But he was out there arguing with the Christian while he wanted his wife to go in there and sign up to get an abortion. She was in there making the appointment. And she came out and she didn't want to have nothing to do with the loser. She walked past him like, you better get your butt in this car and stop arguing with this Christian, because I'll take the keys and drive off without you. Even though I don't have a license, I'll drive right off without you. Atheists ain't only picking on the Christians, but they're starting to tick off their own people. You can see that all over YouTube too. Why would a free Christian need a science communicator? Now we got science communication. We got the, what did she say, skepticism movement. This woman I watched the video about last night. And we have the atheism movement. We got three movements, and she called them movements. The movements. They have a purpose. Okay, and they all have the same purpose. Three movements. You need three movements to attack what you think is one. Why can't you have a movement for every different religion? Now, she only talked about Mormons. And obviously she don't know nothing about anything but Mormons. Then when she got up and said, well, you know, Christians, then she shut up. She started talking about something else because she didn't want to embarrass herself. Okay? Look, I got bad news for you atheists, okay? Science can't fix, can't heal, can't better anyone's life, neither can atheism. Okay? So go on with your bad self, okay? People don't need to fight to just be people. People fight because they know that what they want is selfish, but they want it. And that it doesn't edify nothing but their miserable self. Okay? The world that atheists want is a whole. A whole in morality, in science, in human and social existence. It will bite like a snake in due time and is already injuring the world as we speak. So go on with your bad self. You don't need college to teach you how to draw. You don't need college to teach you how to be or not to be a better Christian, or to hate on Christianity. But you got these, what can I say? Okay? What can I say? I'm not an atheist. I am not an atheist. Thank you for watching, and I will talk to you soon. God bless you.